So, alright, now you must be wondering, how do you mow down an endless horde of elite players coordinating voice comms in a full up tier while using nothing but your one suboptimal starting plane that can't go head to head against them? And that's a very good question. And the answer is you think strategically. Very, very, very strategically. Hello, I am Aoyalaipe, and I like to hop into top tier matches in War Thunder and then personally kill the entire enemy team by myself. Welcome to my channel. That's right, it's once again time to take a glimpse into everyone's favorite topic. The videos you guys won't stop asking about no matter how many I make. The hotcakes you can't stop cramming down your throat no matter how much it burns. That's right, today we're delving back into the insanity of top tier air arcade squadrons in War Thunder. Specifically finding an organized group of squadron players out in the wild and then killing them on repeat by myself after donning a wacky disguise so they don't realize it's me, the guy who keeps doing this to them. So after my last big squadron video, some Mitcher players, including a player who was in the video, reached out to say it was awesome and they loved it. But there were some VPO players who weren't happy with it. And I found this strange because the video was dunking on ITRA, and VPO has a blood feud with ITRA. So it's just kind of weird that the complaints were coming from VPO. However, I think I know what happened. So during that video, I did insinuate that my next squadron video was gonna be about VPO. It was a subtle mention here. Let me play that part again just in case you missed it.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this
entire team
disappear. It's gone.
So anyways, VPO was like, blah 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 blah, Aoyalaipe sucks, blah 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 blah, he cherry picks his games, blah 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 blah. Which is the first time I've ever seen someone complain about a video I haven't even made yet, and that's how you know the footage is gonna be good. So alright, fine, in the interest of transparency, here were the 5 games I played that session. And I guess VPO is right, I am gonna cherry pick the best ones to show you, but you know, these other matches aren't half bad. Also wait, a humbling video? What would be your plan here? Like, skill issues aside, my name in Squadron will change every time you kill me, because I keep changing those in order to mess with you. Because good luck killing me if you can't find me, and good luck finding me if I've not only disguised myself in order to mess with you, but then I've also sent dozens of other players to disguise themselves as me disguising myself in order to mess with you, So I mean, you can't just show videos of people dying and claim it's me, even if it is actually me. You'll actually have to lay out all the evidence to tell the viewer, and then here's how we can prove it was the Valman. It was him, you see, it had to be. He's not good, he only kills all of us by himself some of the time. That'll teach him to make us look like tryhards who can't take a joke. I am VPO. I'm just saying, this approach might be counterproductive for you. Anyway, so here's the footage of that match, so let's see what all the fuss was about. Alrighty, so there's a 3-man VPO kill squad on the other team. These are 3 disciplined elite players who are coordinating in voice comms, and they're gonna spawn 33 planes between them this match. And that's just them, that's not their team, that's not counting all the sponges on their team. I'm gonna have to kill all those guys too, of course. Meanwhile, I am totally alone, solo queuing into this public lobby with just the one plane you see here. It's an F4 Phantom, specifically the Kronos 2000 variant, which in Hebrew means sledgehammer, so I'm flying the Phantom Sledgehammer, which is just such a cool name. Anyway, so basically I felt like farming the Baz, which the Kronos 2000 efficiently researches, and I didn't bring any other planes. Just this one is usually enough to get me through the match. Now, top tier squadrons like VPO tend to live at the max battle rate, which at the moment is 13.7. So I wasn't expecting to see them all the way down here in 11.7 to 12.7 match. But they're here, they're coordinated, and they have at least 33 chances to kill me. I have 1 chance to stop them, all of them with nothing but my 1 starting plane. Also, did I mention this is a full up tier? So to all those people complain that I only post down tiers, you can take a break from complaining on this video. Now, while I wasn't expecting to see that VPO kill squad in this match, that VPO kill squad probably wasn't expecting to see me either. After all, I had disguised myself. I was not Aoyalaipe of YouTube, I was Bertram of KWCS, which is Kilo West Squadron. So thanks to Kilo West, I'll link his channel in the description. Also, I immediately bailed on KWC after this match and got a new squadron because I'm pretty sure this match burned my cover. Now, regular viewers of my channel will probably be like, okay, we've seen this basic setup before. You're just gonna hide behind all those ridges and cheese the VPO guys to death with like Viet Cong guerrilla warfare BS tactics like usual, right? And you, dear viewer, would be wrong. This plane doesn't have the tools to reliably ambush elite players. Thankfully, however, the Phantom Sledgehammer can pull off this game's ultimate power move, which I've only featured once before a long time ago with a very different plane, but the feedback from my fellow players at the time told me it was very effective against them. Okay, so before I explain and unveil what my evil plan is, I have to lay a bit of groundwork so you understand why it works so well. Okay, so as far as missiles goes, my Kronos 2000 has Python 3s and that's it. I mean, you can also load A9Ls onto this thing, but you shouldn't because that's a noob move. A successful ambush actually involves two ingredients. The first ingredient is I need to surprise them. I mean, duh, that's kind of the point. That one's pretty obvious. But the second ingredient, the one that's a lot less obvious, is that I also need to be able to escape if I fire my missile and miss. Most of my ring around the rosy ambush bullcrap happens with max BR planes. It's usually when you see me do it, because the missiles in those planes solve the escape problem for me. A9Ms and Fox 3s take so much time and energy to dodge that even if they miss, I'm long gone by the time you've actually managed to dodge it up and, get around to attack me. You see you suckers. The missile itself provides me with a window to escape. However, Python 3s are an earlier missile design. This is a lower BR match. So if VPO manages to see and flare my Python 3, then from most angles, that will immediately defeat the missile and they can immediately position to counterattack me. So I can't just spam them with basic ambushes because it's still going to be tricky for me to escape. So I'll still ambush them, quite a few times in this video, but it's situationally. So anyways, instead of ambushes, if you really want to kill one specific player at this battle rating, what you really want is a radar missile. Now, my Phantom Sledgehammer does not have any radar missiles, but VPO's planes do have radar missiles, and I will very much become the one guy they want to kill. So in a straight head-to-head with these VPO guys, I'm actually totally outclassed, except in a very short-range knife fight where Python 3s excel. Radar missiles don't turn well off the rack, but Python 3s do. So, alright, now you must be wondering, how do you mow down an endless horde of elite players coordinating voice comms in a full up tier while using nothing but your one suboptimal starting plane that can't go head-to-head against them? And that's a very good question. And the answer is you think strategically. Very, very, very strategically. Okay, so a top tier arcade match is chaos incarnate. It is possible to pay attention, but it's hard. What this means is that no matter how good a player is and what they're good at, situational awareness will almost always be their weakest link. That's the easiest critical skill to go for. You can otherwise be the best player in the world and have unrivaled knowledge of your plane, energy management, and game systems, but if you don't know what's going on, then some rando named Weed Maverick 69 or whatever can just surprise missile death you. So when I'm fighting elite players, many of my tactics and strategies revolve around targeting this weak spot, and I say this calmly and all matter-of-factly, but this is basically the War Thunder equivalent of saying that if you want a guy to fall to the ground in pain, the most effective way to do that is to repeatedly apply your foot to their nutsack until you achieve the desired results. It's regarded as a really evil, dirty, dishonorable way to play, which personally doesn't really bother me at all. Look, if your strategy doesn't feel at least a little bit immoral, you're playing this game wrong. It does bother some other people though, but that's their problem. Now, if I'm targeting situational awareness, I'll usually just use terrain masking. Hiding behind a rock is not the best way to ruin someone's situational awareness. It's just the easiest good way to ruin someone's situational awareness. That's why you see me do it in so many videos. Also, it's really funny when I'm fighting a group of players and I just fly around the same rock in circles and I kill them all before they figure out what I'm doing. But as I implied earlier, in this particular scenario, terrain masking itself is not going to cut it on its own. So this is where the sponges come in. Sponges are most players in the lobby, and they are the useless randos who are just sort of there. I call them sponges because they serve to soak up the attention and missiles of players that actually know what they're doing. That's sort of the main impact sponges have on the game. Crucially, under most methods you can use to maintain situational awareness, keeping track of sponges will take about as much brain power as keeping track of a competent player. Now, there are ways to undermine this by making yourself really annoying and resource intensive to track, but I've already explained how to do that to death in previous videos. It's also fairly uncommon for someone to actually use those tactics against you. Instead, if there's a group of enemy players and you're just trying to keep track of them, then 99% of the time it doesn't matter who is good or who is bad, like which players are good and bad. What matters is which players are actively trying to attack you. If someone isn't attacking you, then you don't really need to know in detail what they're up to. However, if someone is attacking you, then you do need to know what they're doing in detail. So if I get my team sponges to attack VPO, that will overwhelm VPO's situational awareness and essentially DDoS their brain. That makes it far easier for me to sneak up on them. Plus, now if I attack and miss, I can just cut cut past those sponges and use them as distracting meat shields to cover my escape. It solves my problem. There's just one little detail. How do I get my team sponges to spam the VPO kill squad with their existence? Sponges don't read the chat because they're too busy eating crayons, and I couldn't give them orders even if they did. But thankfully, sponges are easy to manipulate. Look, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Playing TTAA is a bit like fighting someone to the death in a Bed Bath & Beyond. You might as well throw the kitchen sink at them. I mean, it's not even your kitchen sink. You see, the one constant you can count on is that most sponges will absentmindedly attack the nearest target. So what this means is that if I want to kill the VPO players, and just the VPO players, the best way to do that in this scenario will actually be to ruthlessly hunt down and massacre every single sponge on their team. Yes, the best way to kill just those specific players is to kill literally everyone else. Then those VPO guys will get swarmed by my team sponges because they're the closest targets to my team sponges because they're the only targets left. And that will trick my own team sponges into doing my bidding without me ever saying a word.
I try to show this
Top-tier squadrons.
how pathetic their attempts to control things really are. So, when I say
Killing your entire team.
it was nothing personal, you know that I'm telling the truth.
That is the ultimate counter move in this game. Murder someone's entire team and then laugh while they get swarmed. That's basically what you've been watching me slowly set up for the last 10 minutes. And that makes this video very rewatchable now that you know what I'm doing. Seriously, if someone watches this video twice or leaves it to run twice while they go get food or something, you know, after they watch it the first time, that's basically bacon flavored crack for the algorithm. Look, I'm the good guy in this story. I don't care how many innocent people I have to deceive or murder to prove it to you. And now I finally get to this plane's advantages. The Phantom Sledgehammer is amazing at killing sponges. The missiles are flareable from most aspects at most ranges, yes, but the Python 3s are really fast infrared missiles that give no warning, and the plane itself is fast and has a huge amount of countermeasures. And I explain how that all fits together really well in the original review I have on this particular plane. I'll link at the end of this video if you want to go watch it. It's called using reverse psychology to ruin the game for everyone else or something like that. It's a ton of fun. So to make a long story short though, this plane doesn't hard counter anything in its own battle rating, but it soft counters everyone and everything. So it's a real monster in the hands of someone who can dream up 1,001 devious and unfair ways to kill you. So obviously it's one of my go-tos. Now, the VPO players have finally figured out that I'm the one causing them problems, and now one of them is rolling really hard on me. He wants me dead. This is also really bad timing because my missiles and countermeasures are on reload, so I'm a sitting duck. However, there is a counter move I can use in this situation, and I like to call it the Bill Buckner maneuver, because I'm just going to slip right under his legs. The key vulnerability here is that VPO player has missiles that don't turn well right off the rack. So, instead of running away, I'm instead going to turn around and charge him while using the terrain to block his shot until I'm really close. Then I'm just going to feint an attack and slip right past him. Too close for missiles, too fast for guns. That VPO guy tries to turn around and kill me, but he gets mauled to death by sponges in the process. Sponges who are only swarming him because they've already killed almost every single other player on his team and sent them back to the lobby. Remember, terrain masking is the easiest good way to target someone's situation awareness, but if you can manipulate a bunch of clueless noobs into swarming your enemies like a horde of zombies, that's actually far more distracting than just hiding behind a hill. You know what, I'm gonna name this the zombie horde strategy. However, even if the sponges didn't manage to kill that VPO guy, he still would have had to flown diagonally through AAA cover at low altitude and then find me in the hills on the other side when I have a head start into the hills because he bled all his speed in that turn. Look, it pays to be a slippery bastard in this game. Now, at this point, these VPO guys are up to 24 total deaths, and that's rising fast. They are just getting melted by both me and the sponges that are swarming them from all directions. They look like total noobs, because that's what happens when you absolutely nuke someone's attention span in this game. You're like, oh, what's going on? And bloop, missile gets you. That's why conjuring up a zombie horde to swarm your enemies with is the ultimate counter move in this game. Now, at this point, all three VPO players have had their entire lineup shot down. Every plane they brought has been shot down. I have orchestrated their elaborate demise because I am the good guy. But instead of giving up, they've resorted to spamming backup vehicles and then betting that they can brute force the ground targets before I'm able to shoot down their entire lineups a second time. And I gotta give them credit, I didn't even realize that was an option. Now, as far as I could tell, they wound up popping at least 5 backup vehicles this match, and those backups were worth about $2.04 in Golden Eagles, and I probably put that number somewhere in the title. Now, but wait, you might be thinking, they didn't necessarily buy those backups with, you know, Golden Eagles they bought for real money. You can get them after a battle or with the random login rewards, or you can buy them with war bonds from the season pass. And this was dishonest clickbait of a title, and okay, fine. You do have a point, except wait, no you don't. Another squadron spent $60 trying to mess with me, so actually I undersold it. I mean, what channel do you think you're watching here? I will say it wasn't VPO, but I'm not going to name the other squadron since they partially did it for the attention. But basically, they used a glitch to make an alt account with basically an exact copy of my name. They then purchased a top tier premium for $60 real and ran around top tier arcade matches, spamming the N-word at everyone in every match. I don't even know what I did to upset them, but my guess is I just killed their entire team and they're just really sore losers. That's a common issue for me. I can't share how Gaijin resolved this issue, but what I can share is that after Gaijin resolved the issue, some of the fans I have in that particular squadron's Discord server reached out to be like, wow, they really hate you all of a sudden. What did you do to them? And that's for me to know and you to never find out. Anyways, thank you to Jojack and Paraceline for sending that to me. Remember, if the player card doesn't have 10,000 kills in the MiG-21S R13300, it ain't me. Check your AOL IPs for watermarks and security strips. Oh, and now VPO has popped a backup on an A10C, so now VPO is hunting me through these hills with AIM-9Ms. I'm not sure what I have ever done to deserve that. Longtime viewers won't find that ironic at all. Oh, and before this game reaches its thrilling conclusion, I should take a quick moment to thank all the people who gave me super thanks. So thank you to all these people. I'd like to highlight N7 Warhound, who gave me $25 despite him not actually playing War Thunder, as well as the guy who gave me 20 Turkish lira. Now, if you're wondering, hey, aren't Turkish lira worth their weight in toilet paper? Well, yes, they are, but not if someone gives it to you digitally. Also, I can tell from the stats that at least one person super thanks me on one of my video premieres, but I'm not sure who it was because I slept through that particular video premiere. It was probably Ducky Andre though, so thanks to that guy. I'd also like to thank the guy who gave me Swiss money for some reason. That country sells a lot of chocolate, so it makes sense that they'd use congestive heart failure as their currency. Back to this match though, I'm now running into one of my mightiest foes. Gas. I'm running out of gas. I don't have enough gas left to like properly use my afterburner. This is because I jettisoned my drop tank at the start. I've only managed to run this jet out of gas once before, so I figured taking that risk would be worth it since I wanted the extra fight performance to fight VPO. So unfortunately, I had to play my cards pretty close to the chest right towards the end, and they were able to get in there and finish off the last of the heavy ground targets with one of their backups, and that collapsed my team's tickets. So I don't know what those VPO players were so upset about, because, technically they won. Technically. But hey, a 20-0 kill streak against VPO is still pretty neat. Then in the very next match, I went on another 20 kill streak, which lasted until this guy finally managed to stop me. There were no VPO players in that game, but that's okay because Ace of Spades 2727 is better than VPO apparently. Going on 2 20 kill streaks back to back was also pretty neat. This is one of only 2 planes I've ever managed to do that with. So then he popped a backup and finished off the rest of his team too. I mean, and that's not pay to win hypocrisy because Gaijin gives me backups for free. Anyways, here's the leaderboard from the VPO match. Don't forget to like and comment to feed the algorithm, and if you subscribe and ring the bell, you won't need to remember how to spell AOLIPay next time you want to watch one of my videos.